Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Getting ready for this big showdown today at the Barber Street softball field. It's going to be a dog fight.
Yep, it's going to be a big old dog fight here. What do you know? What we know about Forsyth?
Very good team.
Finished second in their region, but they're real good.
Yeah, East Side's the number one team, and the only games that East Forsyth has lost to has been to East Side. Their record's about 19-3, so
Very
3
good
losses.
softball team. Okay.
This good softball team. It's going to be good competition today.
Going to be good times out there at Barber Struckoff Field today, so we encourage you to go out there and support the Lady Jackets. First pitch will be at 4 o'clock, or the first game, because it is a doubleheader today. And the F game will be tomorrow. And if you can't make it, we'll bring the action to you right here on 105.5 FM, and we'll stream it live down our website at bigdogcountry.com. Just click on live stream. You can listen to it worldwide. Well, yesterday, Bob, we had Edna and Charlotte in here. They talked about the band a little bit. And we've got somebody in here, Farrell Cooksey, who's been active with the Band Boosters for many years. And he called yesterday and said, well, let me come on there and talk about some of the things going on with the band. And good morning, Farrell.
Good morning, Mr. Butch. Good morning, Mr. Bob. Thank y'all for allowing a little bit of time on here to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is the Wayne County High School Marching Band and the band competitions that we attend and go through stuff with. This morning, we're talking about the 2024 Deep South Classic, which is our band competition that we started here in 2019. We've been very blessed to have success here. We've had a full schedule every year, and this year we once again have 16 bands coming from, let me make sure I got my notes right. We've got them coming as far as Panama City Beach in Florida,
Wow,
Charleston, Augusta, and all throughout the state of Georgia. We will have a little over 17 band students taking the field throughout the day, and the day will be November 2nd. So Saturday, a week from Saturday, we will have approximately 1,700 students on the field, which, from what we've seen in the past, is about 3 adults per student. So we'll have between 5,000 and 6,000 people here in Wayne County, the city of Jesup, that day out at JC Stadium, and our guests, the people that have come and been a part of this, have always loved how Wayne County does things here. Down to our guys, Miguel and them, that take care of the field. We always get musical notes. They always paint musical notes on the field. Nobody else does that for their bands.
Wow.
So,
and what date is this again?
it'll be Saturday, November 2nd. The entry fee to get in and watch the competition is $10 a person. We have... They sent me a text yesterday with all the things that you can pay with, and I'm not familiar with all of them.
But they didn't take cash.
They'll take cash.
Good.
We do take
Good
cash.
American way. That's
Yes.
USA.
We got Venmo and Cash App and all kinds
heaven
of
knows
stuff.
what else.
I don't know how to do those, so don't ask me to make it happen. That particular day, and this one's a big one because they mentioned it yesterday, we'll also be doing a 50-50 raffle that day. The proceeds from that raffle are not band competition money. Those proceeds actually go to the Carnegie Hall trip, which will be next year. So we're combining a couple things that day. The competition's a big fundraiser for us, for the band boosters, but we're also going to bring in the Carnegie Hall trip that day. So we have a 50-50 raffle that we'll be doing. Trying to make sure I cover all my notes so I don't get in trouble with anybody. 16 bands, $10 fees.
And how much it is again to watch the competition?
It's $10 per person to get in, and we have multiple ways of paying. Some of the things that
That $10 is for all day, or if you just want to
sir.
watch them, just come in the gate and go out, and you pay the $10.
you
no
have
how
a
long
little.
you stay.
We always do a little wristband thing, so you can come in. There will be food vendors set up. In the past, we have had chicken fingers, fajitas, hamburgers, hot dogs, all kinds of groceries. There's no reason to be hungry at the end of the day. I know in one of the weekends we had Chick-fil-A came over, and it was one of their biggest days for their little mobile trailer that they bring over.
Right.
They made multiple trips to Hinesville to get more chicken sandwiches.
We need more chicken.
But one of the things that this year's been different. of course, with
how's
the
that, Farrell?
Hurricanes. We've had band competitions scheduled that we've not been able to go to due to Hurricane Helene and the devastation that occurred. This past weekend, we were actually supposed to be at the Lowndes County competition, and at the last minute, they were trying to get ready. They could not get ready, so we had to shift over. We went to Warner Robins, and our band did really well there. They finished 7th overall. But the best thing about finishing 7th overall is the fact that we were out of school for 11 days. We went back one day. We were out of school the next day. We were out for the holiday. So these kids have not had a lot of time on the field to practice and to do their performance. We've also had a couple of our games got changed. I think we had one that was supposed to be home. We shifted it away.
Right.
All we took to that game was a pep band. I think at the last minute that even got canceled because of the rain. So the Herseys, Christy and Andy, have been doing everything they can do with all their support staff they've got. The students have been given everything they can give, but they really haven't had a lot of time to be performing on the field. They did, after Thursday's homecoming parade, they did a parent show, basically a performance out at the stadium. And I'm just going to tell you, those kids worked their butts off. They did a heck of a job. The program it's a spin-off of Dante's Inferno. So the music, the show, props, everything, they did a heck of a job considering what they've worked with. I'm proud as I can be of the band boosters, the officers, the staff, and everything that they're doing. They're just doing a really good job. I commend them for continuing the Deep South Classic, even with all the hurricane stuff we've gone through. We've had 1 year that we weren't able to do the Classic, which was 2020. Of course, we know that reason. 2021, we actually had to move it into the high school gym at the last minute, and all of our guests just could not brag enough about how the high school staff and the Board of Education as a whole came on board and helped make that work. So Wayne County's blessed with the support that we get. We don't always see it, but when the phone rings, the number of people that will answer it and come help and give a lending hand is just tremendous in Wayne County. And I said that because the phone's going to be ringing, folks. We need some volunteers with buggies, which are like ATVs, UTVs, side-by-sides, golf carts, small tractors, and trailers, because what we have to do is load the equipment off of the band's trailers. We get them out. They do their warm-up staging areas, and then we have to transfer all those equipment and all that instruments over to the field. So we need buggies and trailers and volunteers, and the only thing we can ask about the buggies is don't bring the big bogging mud tire looking things that
right, because you can't run those across the field.
Can't
or
run those
like
across the field or the track.
Almost regular tires. They can have a little bit of.
They can
a little bit, but those big ones.
They can be all terrain type, but those things are like 2 inches wide and 5 foot tall. We can't use those.
Right.
So
can't go in the field with that to be able to help the trailer.
We cannot
out.
take a chance of messing up that wonderful track around JC Stadium, Mr. Bob.
Oh yeah, you can really mess that asphalt up really bad.
So that was pretty much it. Just want to tell everybody, y'all come and see what these kids do. It's not just the Wayne County Band, but all of these other bands. This year especially, September and October are called Bandtober. That's when all your competitions go. And the reason why the Deep South Classic is so popular with all these schools, it's the last one of the season. It's their, we're going to go shoot for one more. That's why we actually have it the first Saturday in November. Typically, October rounds up your competition season, so we moved it to that first Saturday in November, and we've had a lot of success with bringing bands in because of that.
And how many bands are coming in for this one?
There'll be 16 bands
from all over, from Florida, Georgia,
Panama
all over.
City is the furthest one away. Charleston, Augusta, and then all scattered throughout Georgia.
And what do people expect when they go there? They start at a certain time, end at a certain time, and what will they see out there on the field as these bands compete? Your
first bands will take field somewhere around 12:30, probably, maybe 12:45, depending on the size. I don't have the list in front of me about the sizing. The sizing affects how fast we can move them in and out. You can't move Richmond Hill in and out in a minute and a half. Richmond Hill is a pretty doggone big band at this point. Some of the smaller schools, Bryan County, I think in 2022, we moved all their stuff in one trailer. They have about 40 kids in their band. Big difference in Richmond Hill, which is straight down the other end of the county from them. But we'll move these things in. The awards will typically take place somewhere around 9:30 that night, and you'll get to see all the big trophies, the 1 foot tall all the way up to the 6 foot tall trophies.
And when will the Wayne County band perform?
So the band our Wayne County band will perform their exhibition show somewhere around the neighborhood of 8:45.
Now theirs is an exhibition. Is that correct?
We
They're
don't
not,
get to, we
you
don't
don't
get
to compete because you're hosting. Is that right?
Yeah, we don't compete in the one we host. So we'll do our exhibition somewhere around 8:45, 9 o'clock, and that just helps fill the gap so that the judges can get all their scoring tallied and get everything ready to present the awards at around 9:30 or so.
Where are the judges from?
They come from all over. In the past, there been one that came from Columbia, South Carolina.
Are all these are band directors or something involved in the musical?
They're band directors. Of course, they've been in the band industry for years. Some are from college band directors, high school band directors, just retired band directors from all across. And
what do these band directors look for? How do they judge?
So
usually you have a sheet there on this, and this you can grade.
We judge. They'll judge anywhere from the overall performance, and then they break it down into categories: your woodwinds, your brass, your percussion, your majorettes, your drum majors, your flag corps. All of those individually and collectively get judged.
Okay, and how long is each performance?
Our performances are timed at no more than 8 minutes.
8 minutes? A band only gets 8 minutes to do their thing?
8 minutes to do the very best job you
can
do. You can't call a timeout. You can't have an injured player fall down in the middle of the play and stop momentum.
Just march over him.
Yeah, just push the guy over and we'll take a couple minutes for player injury. No, we don't get those. The clock starts and we have to be ready. We have, like I said, 8 minutes. That's on the field, off the field.
That's on the field, off the field?
On the field,
you're not
off
actually
the field.
performing for 8 minutes then.
You're not actually performing for 8 minutes.
Probably that's about less than 7 minutes then,
And
maybe 6.
It's no different than like on Friday night when you get to the end of halftime. If they're still performing, our band guys come running off. I mean, they have to get off the field because we're set for those times. And timing is everything in band.
Yeah. And so that's going to be not this Saturday, but the following Saturday on the 2nd.
The long range
November
weather
2nd.
Looks really well.
Looking really good. Too bad it's not this week. It's going to be gorgeous. Hopefully, the next week.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
And so that's the Deep South Classic Band Competition to be hosted by Wayne County High School at JC Stadium on Saturday, November 2nd. Everything will kick off around 12:30, and they'll have bands performing all the way into the evening. The Wayne County High School Band will perform last, and then they'll judge during that time period, and then the award winners will be announced. And you can go in for $10. You can go in for watch 2 or 3 bands, or all day, or just go in for the Wayne County, whatever you want to do. Have food vendors there and other folks there, and they need folks with 2x2s, 4x4s in terms of buggies and golf carts and stuff like that to help move the equipment on and off from inside the track, their stadium, to the field.
And if you have one of those and you'd like to volunteer your time and your buggy for that day, don't hesitate to call me. My number is 912-294-5947. Either I can put you in touch with the next person on the list or help round it up that day. So,
do you need any other volunteers for anything else? Or is it just
you
just need folks there to help move equipment? All right.
Mostly it's going to be to help move the equipment around. Okay. Most every category, I think we've got volunteers pretty much scheduled, but we don't turn people away if they come up and say, what do I need to do to help?
Right.
We also take good in-kind cash donations, and anything that you want to give outside of this competition. Just know that these kids are also raising money for this trip to Carnegie Hall next year, and that's a big deal for our kids. The Wayne County Band has performed from Walt Disney World. They've done the Electric Night Parade in the past. I can remember when I was in high school, the band led the parade one night at Walt Disney World. They've marched in parades in Philadelphia. We've marched in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. We've been seen all across the United States at different places. things haven't always been as prosperous here in rural Georgia for Wayne County, so we don't get to take as many trips as what we would like our bands to experience. But the Hershey's are trying to make sure that each student has at least one opportunity to go on a big trip.
So once every 4 years, a big trip.
At least once every 4 years, you're going to have
at least
opportunity to go to a big parade or a big function of some sort. So every penny that we raise always goes to those things. Inside the boosters, the money that we raise goes to help add to the overall performance of the band. So it may be to replace equipment that is outside of what the Board of Education gives us money for. It may be for updating some of the uniforms. It may be for just buying props. It may be for a piece of equipment that Christy and Andy really want for the band program and just can't find the funding for it. So we'll try to help out with that. But it's anything they ask for that we can try to fund that opportunity for these kids. There's not a single paid person in the building as far as the boosters. We don't help cover anything for the Hershey's on their salary, but every penny that we raise goes back into the program, just like the Touchdown Club or the baseball boosters or the softball. All of these booster clubs, and I don't know if people understand, but most of these sports and most of these extracurriculars could not be where they are without these booster clubs. Wayne County gives a lot of money to every single one of these booster clubs for these teams. These kids deserve our best, and it doesn't matter if they're wearing a helmet or wearing one of the plumes on top of their hats on the band field. These kids deserve the very best that Wayne County can give them at any point in time.
Now, this Deep South competition, band competition on November 2nd at JC Stadium, is that any type of fundraiser for the band to be able to go to New York or what?
It's not dedicated for that. The 50-50 raffle that we'll be doing throughout the day will be dedicated for that. We'll have dedicated fundraisers for the Carnegie Hall trip. The competition is mostly the boosters' nest egg for getting everything's done.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. We're looking forward to the Wayne County band going to Carnegie Hall. What month is that? Is that March, April?
I think it's April.
April. Be able to go up there and perform at Carnegie Hall. And as the time gets closer, we'll have the band directors on and some other folks to talk more about it as they get closer. But anytime that you can help that band so they can make that big trip to Carnegie Hall next spring, do anything you can to help folks.
Yes, please do. Again, for some of these kids, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Right. And of course, you got the Deep South Band Competition coming up on November 2nd at JC Stadium, starting at about 12:30. Everyone's invited to go there. It's only $10 to get in. You get a wristband, so you can come in and watch some bands, go do something else, come back, whatever the case may be, to watch some of the best bands in 3 states perform here in Jesup, Georgia.
Yep. And if you have any questions, there's always information on our Facebook page, the Wayne County High School Marching Band page. You can check with any of the rest of us that are part of the boosters. Robbie Smart, Heather Johnson, Jeffrey Crawford. Look up Christy Hershey or Andy Hershey on Facebook. We all have information about the band that's on our Facebook pages.
Okay. Well, Farrell, we appreciate you coming in this morning and informing folks about the band competition coming up on November 2nd at JC Stadium. Information about how helping the band get to Carnegie Hall with extra funds for next spring. And just keep us updated, okay?
Well, thank y'all very much again for allowing us to be on here, and thank you for your support. I've heard many times, Bob records during halftime. He has played our band performances during halftime. So I just want to say thank y'all here at WIFO for all the support you give us as well.
Okay. We'll be back with more of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in a moment right here on Big Dog Country Radio.
Here's your WIFO forecast.
Good morning, everyone. Bright skies to get us up on this Tuesday morning. Only a few thin clouds. We've got sunshine today. It's going to be very breezy. Highs are inching into the upper 70s. Clear tonight. Lows mid-60s. Tomorrow for Wednesday, same thing. Sunshine and upper 70s. On Thursday, you'll notice a little bit of a change with sunny skies, not as windy, a little warmer, low 80s. I'm Georgia meteorologist Laura Huckabee in the GNN Weather Center.
105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Good morning, world famous Butch and Bob show for this Tuesday morning. So, girls softball action at Barbara Struckoff Field today, right, Bob?
4 o'clock first pitch. Again, with the pregame at 3:50 here on Big Dog Country from 105.5. Both games, 30 minutes in between games. If there is a third game, it'll be tomorrow here at home at 4 o'clock as well. So,
okay. Wayne County Yellow Jacket Lady Jackets, runner-up in the state last year, played for the state championship after that long tournament there in Columbus, and now they're trying to get back to Columbus to go at it again. But they got a very tough competition today at Barbara Struckoff Field. Doubleheader, first game at 4. We encourage you to get out there and support the Lady Jackets. All right, we were talking yesterday about the tragic event that happened at Sapelo Island. So I finally did get to see those. I don't know how these videos came in late. I'm not sure if people were trying to sell them or what. But there was people up on the island there taking videos of what was going on there with the gangway falling down. The ferry pulls up to that dock. The people get on the dock, then they walk across this long gangway to the landing. And I can see why 40 people are on there, because that's a pretty good long gangway there from the dock to the landing, and it apparently came loose or broke there at the dock itself. It came down because it was still leaned up toward the landing there, and you can see people trying to go up it there at the landing. The thing that really caught my eye was the people who fell in because of apparently the tide, I guess, was going out or whatever. When they hit the water, you just couldn't just sit there and float. You couldn't that current is pulling you away from the landing there, from where people hit the ground. They're going. I mean, you could see them. They're spreading out like little ducks in a pond or something like that, being pushed across there. They're just all going out, and you got people there on from the boat and from the landing. They're throwing out life preservers so people could hold on to them, and you could see people just floating on those things, and some of them floated down a ways where they could get on some land down there on the island itself. But that was a pretty good. I didn't realize it was that long. That's pretty good, because the ferry can only get so close to the island, because they have to still be able to be able to pull up there without hitting bottom. And so even when it's low tide, so people get off on the dock, and then they got a long gateway there all the way up to the gangway up there all the way up to the landing, and that's what broke. And so they're going to have to say why. They said it was inspected last year, but watching something on one of the TV channels last night, they had an interview with the guy from Buford who has the same type of situation there on the island right off Buford there. And they say that they inspected theirs thoroughly after the hurricane. Now, if the word is right now is that the last time that this gangway was inspected was about a year ago, and which really surprises some folks that it was not inspected after the hurricane. So did the hurricane have anything to do with it? Was it just shoddy workmanship? Of course, it's been there for 3 years, but you think by now something would have happened. So it will be interesting to find out if it was compromised because of the high winds and tides and all that.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the attorneys have showed up now.
Oh yeah, there's attorneys everywhere. They were as soon as they heard about it, they're probably hidden that way. You got all kinds of folks there, and so they'll do a lot of investigation. They'll be finger pointing and all that kind of stuff. But it's going to take probably a few months to get to the exact cause of what happened, because they're going to have to. They're going to have to look at the what broke, what made it break, whatever the case may be. But it was just really interesting watching that interview with the guy. I'm not sure if it was the mayor or the person involved of keeping up the buildings and things there in Buford. Was talking about, we inspected ours after Helene came through, and did they do it with the one there at Sapelo? No, but it was a pretty good long gangway there, all the way up from the dock to the landing there. But it was just interesting watching those videos of people, because everybody's got cameras and phones, and there was several of them there where people were just videoing, and it was great with the way the people went down the gangway there and held arms to pull people up, and stuff like that up the ramp there to the landing. But it's a tragic event there, and we'll see how it all turns out. Couple of football games last night, Bob.
Yeah, Tampa got beat by Baltimore, and Arizona beat, I can't even remember who they played, the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers, yeah.
I want to remind people about today's event at the City of Jesup in Wayne Memorial Hospital's got their pinking of the fountain today at 12 noon. Public invited to attend. Again, Mayor Ralph Hickox will provide the welcome. They've got 2 guest speakers, breast cancer survivors Deborah Wynn and Andrew Sturgill. Dr. Matthew Dixon, radiologist from the hospital, will provide the closing. But again, that's taking place today at 12 noon at the depot in downtown Jesup. So again, public invited to attend and encouraged to wear pink. The pinking of the fountain today at 12 noon. Again, that event was scheduled earlier, but again, due to the storm, was rescheduled for today. And again, the public invited to attend. Also, FEMA representatives are in town handing out flyers. So if you're still looking for assistance from FEMA, again, they state the number to call is 1-800-621-3362. We can visit their disasterassistance.gov website as you have the following information: your address and zip code, condition to damage your home, insurance if available. Again, the number 1-800-621-3362. So still a lot of people seeking help from that hurricane.
Okay. And they'll be handing out flyers. Any particular place in town they're handing them out, or
They've just been
walking
around,
the streets, or
around town handing out
hand out flyers on how to get help from FEMA? Okay.
That's the word from our EMA director, Donnie Gray.
Right. Okay, Bob, anything else? All right, have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by O.C. Welch Ford. Also brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, First Southern Bank, and the service department at GNS Auto Sales on North 1st Street in Jesup.